I definitely wanted to discuss the format change in general. Someone we've had a couple people ask us, and some of them addressed like me and Jake, and I'm just like, I don't want to make this uncomfortable for anyone, but like, how much do you think he can like? I'll just let you know right now, he's not going to come on and be like, I think it's amazing. Like, he'll listen to our competitor exclusively. Whatever. Luckily enough,
I mean, I've never been on the radio, and I'm, reticent about some opinions I might or might not have.
Yeah, no, I don't work there now. I don't work at the Ticket now, and I'm never going to again. And but there's still like some things I'm like, do I really want to say that? Like, and I'm just like, when's the time when I get to be free? Like, it's just fucking annoying that I'm like this stuff's in my head at all, where I'm like, well, I don't want to be too harsh. I don't know, whatever. It's probably a good impulse.
When can anyone be free?
Probably the thing that's like,
from the decisions that they've made.
A lot of what's holding me back is just like trying to be reasonable. Like my most extreme views on it, I know like aren't true. Like that's like there's a part of me that believes that, but like there's a larger part of me that doesn't. And so like, of course, you shouldn't fucking say that out loud because you don't actually believe it. Like not fully. Like that you're just like, to me, I know that I'm just like mad, like about whatever. I'm not mad, but like, I don't know. So I'm going to try and be, but I do, I want to talk about the topic. The big thing for me was, I didn't feel any kind of like huge way until I read the Sharon Grigsby article.
Right. Yeah.
And I have a hard time being like entirely neutral about Sharon Grigsby in the first place. So like, there's just a lot of levels of triggering going on there. I didn't even know that she listened to the Ticket, and like, I've never met her. Like I'm sure she's a nice lady, but like, I don't know. I care about the sorts of stuff that she usually writes about, and often disagree. I mean, sometimes like it's fine, but like. She's read columns that have made she's written columns in the past that have made me mad. So like whenever I'm reading another one that's also making me mad, I'm like, yes, here again. But like about a new topic. No. And she's like she's written some like personal stuff about Philip, who I consider to be a friend. So I don't like people fucking like it was whenever he won re-election against Matt Wood.
Yeah.
She had like a little blurb about like, he may have won, but he still sucks. And I hope he knows that. I did not appreciate it. But anyways, so she's writing this thing that's just like, is this good? I feel personally conflicted. Either that Mike's back and that he's trying to siphon listeners away. And first of all, I just think that's not how I would look at it. Like, Mike is obviously was going to grab the headlines, but like, I don't know. I don't want to tell these people's stories for them. But I do want to like cite as evidence things that are true, to like kind of talk about like what, I think the impact of this station of the Freak is, which is like, Julie stopped doing her job because she was paying her fucking babysitter more than they paid her to do the job. That's fucking insane. Yeah. And like, so the fact that she's like able to go and like do something where like she can pay more than the babysitter, and like she gets to do this thing that she trained for and other people enjoy having her do. I think that it's not fucking.
Who's gonna hold that against anyone?
How do I feel about Mike? Like whatever. Like this is great for Julie, dude. Saroy, I think he pretty much said this on Gordon's podcast, so I don't think I'm out of turn for saying it. He would have had to fucking like sell his house to continue working at the Ticket. He would have had to sell his house. And like, there's the details there. Like, it's because he ended up with the full payments in the divorce. And so like he probably, if that hadn't happened, just would have bought a smaller house and then he wouldn't have had to sell it. It's not like he would have been homeless, but like he likes the house. And like he does it. And I don't know, dude. I think he's a fucking star. I think that Saroy is, one of the most entertaining people I've ever met, one of the most fun people I've ever met. And you deserve something like this a long time ago. So, the fact that he's going to get it and he gets to stay living where he wants to live and he works with his lady, like, it's great. All this is great. So how you can be like, I don't know if I like this or not. I don't know if I like that, these talented, capable people that love Dallas and want to work here and haven't been willing to like leave to go do some like, the fact that they all get to like make their own thing and like build their own new thing. Like that's fucking awesome.
It reminds me a bit of the way that college football is covered, especially in college towns. And just even being from Fort Worth, it's a bigger city. It's not your typical college town, but I'm a TCU Horned Frog, and growing up, and even recently with the firing of Gary Patterson, there's a feedback loop that kind of happens between fans of a certain thing and loyalties that sort of happen, and you can see it reflected a lot of time in the journalism that's kind of reflected. In the article you're mentioning, I don't know much about that writer, but it felt like someone kind of feeding the fandom and kind of the frenzy that happens along with college sports. And I'm a P1. I'm still a P1. I still like listening to all sorts of radio stations, and enjoy things about that. But a new and exciting opportunity that's coming along for myself and for other people. It's a wonderful thing to have happen. It's more choices, it's more options, and it's like nothing that's really going on a major, part of the dial by any means,
Yeah, the fact that it's just talk, that they'll let us do things like what we were just saying, like if we went in and pitched the ticket on, we want to talk from a therapist's perspective on celebrity gossip. Like, they're not carving out 2 hours.
You guys gonna for that? Can we please have 2 hours on a Saturday or whenever it's going to be? For me to talk about Phil Collins' divorce.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe
not.
how that's reflective a little bit in his earlier, in his earlier catalog.
Yeah. And I don't know. The thing that I really like,
I mean, the ticket would come closest probably, but not anymore. Now there is an actual place to do that.
Yeah, and I'm positive if I asked them that they'd say no, they did like IJB with half sports, like they were saying no.
Sure.
So like, yeah, no question what the response would be if I requested that. Now, if like Wolanski went in and had some idea or something, someone, the decision makers, like just a lot of stuff can happen if you're like friends with the decision makers.
Yeah.
But we had a working relationship. I don't think that either party was ever like, yes, my friend. So if you are someone who is taking the freak news in a hostile fashion, hear me out. Just please keep an open mind while I make a couple points. One main point. This doesn't need to matter to you at all. Like the way that, like, if the Freak were so wildly successful that Cumulus felt they had no choice but to change the format of the ticket and like it went away, then I would grant you that like this is really fucked with your life and like this has had some bad things. But I cannot express how far away from that we are. Like they make 7-figure profits every year, and not a lot of other things at Cumulus are doing that. Like they're gonna do whatever they can do to keep this going, and it's not going to be that hard. The ticket is going to continue. Like I can't conceive of an end to it, and if it is, it's not like just like. They've had 2 other competitors before. Like whenever they were competing with ESPN and the Fan, like this has happened before.
Yep.
This is not like insurmountable. What the fuck are we going to do? The only thing that's going to happen
and it's different. It's more different than those other stations.
Like the impact of this is that they probably or it's certainly possible they will make less revenue. But why the fuck should you care? Like whenever they announce that the Cowboys are the most valuable franchise, are people like, dude, fuck the Super Bowl. I don't even care. The Cowboys are the most valuable franchise. I just hope that Jerry makes money. Like that's an insane position to take, and it's the same one here, dude. You don't care how what their fucking profit statements are. You shouldn't. Like they'd be insane to. So like. This isn't going to affect you at all. Like you get to listen to the ticket the exact same way you could always listen to the ticket. And now in commercials or, if you like whatever you have like the fact that and I've definitely heard from, some people that are like, this is an assault on all of us. And like, that's just nuts. Like they're giving you more consumer choice. You shouldn't view that as like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah. Well, we're conditioned in this country to root for companies a lot of times. And, it's a brand and the ticket is a brand and it's been around forever. And we'll, as you say, continue to be around. But this is it's an option. It's something new and it's going to be something really fun. And, me and TC are going to be on there. So that's
the real important thing.
That's the thing that should probably make your Saturday decision for you at least.
Didn't get mentioned in the Grigsby article at all. Kind of an affront.
They've been trying to keep certain things under wraps.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Easy to conceive of a situation where the ticket finishes first in the demographic and the freak finishes fourth. And I think that like everyone involved to be overjoyed.
I would think so.
It's probably more than the Eagle was bringing in previously, I would guess. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe first and second. Maybe it'll be like the late night wars.
That's right. Just dueling back and forth.
That would be awesome. That would be great.
But I'm just saying, like, even if the ticket doesn't lose like a single dollar, if they just like keep on, I think there's enough. Like it's, it's somewhat zero sum, but like not really. I think it's cool. It's kind of a sad state of things that two women is like, look at this unbelievable amount of women. But look at this unbelievable amount of women, like compared to the ticket lineup. So I think that to some extent, they're not like really actually playing for the exact same people.
Yeah. Are you ready to unveil the fact that we might have female guests?
Yeah.